You may have heard about the 15-65-20 rule. Save 15%, spend 65% on essentials, and use 20% for fun. But let's be real. This one-size-fits-all approach isn't working for most people. In this video, I'm breaking down a flexible and proven strategy that will help you save, invest, spend, and enjoy your money more effectively than any rigid rule could. Plus, I'll show you how to automate it so you can set it and forget it. Imagine this, you're driving home and boom, flat tire. It's not just the inconvenience that throws you off. If you don't have savings, you're probably gonna stress a lot in thinking through how you might pay for this unexpected expense, and most likely put it on a credit card. Promise you'll pay it off, and before you know it, you're $30,000 in debt. That's why the first step in managing money like the 1% is saving a portion of your income first. Maybe you've heard the term pay yourself first. Warren Buffett said it best when he said, don't save what is left after spending, instead spend what is left after saving. This isn't about just saving up for an emergency, it's about creating a sense of total financial security for the rest of your life. When you have savings, you have options. Start small. Your first goal should be to save enough to cover 1 month of living expenses. That would include, your mortgage, your bills, your spending money for groceries, and 1 month's worth of living. Maybe that sounds incredibly intimidating, but just start where you are today. Once you've got that, you can work towards 3 to 6 months as a longer term goal. This gives you the ultimate peace of mind, knowing that even if you lose your job or face an unexpected crisis, you have a backup plan. Now, here's where the automation comes in. You can set up an automatic transfer to your savings account the moment your paycheck lands. You don't even have to think about it. This one small action ensures that over time, savings becomes a habit. And habits are what create lasting change. But this next point is mission critical. If you have your savings account at the same bank as your checking account, where you pay your bills and do everything else, it's time for a change. The reality is 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved. I would argue because it's so easy to get into the cookie jar and pull from your savings because of instant transfers. That's why you want a savings account at a separate institution that requires a multi-day transfer to get your money back. That's enough to eliminate temptation for most people. The same thing is true for your investments. If a portion of your income goes automatically into your investments, you're literally gonna get rich while you sleep. In this graph you're about to see is the data that backs this up. We see that retirement accounts crushes everything, not because the rate of return in your average 401k, where most people probably don't even know what it's invested in, is dominating the marketplace. The reality is it's because of the contribution that are going into these accounts without people having to think about it. They're happening automatically. And we want to use these tools to our advantage. And the beautiful thing about this is if you're investing before it lands in your checking account, you can't spend it. We'll talk about spending accounts a little later. Now, for most people, it's a great idea to be saving 15 to 20% of your income into retirement accounts, but if you can't do that today, that's okay. Over time, there is an option for most people's 401k called the automatic increase feature, where you can do 1, 2, 3% as an increase each and every year. So for example, if you're getting the full match by doing 6% of your paycheck, phenomenal. Maybe next year you can do 7% and then 8% the year after that, and on and on and on. And before you know it, you'll be maxing out the 401k without feeling the pain. Now, once you've started saving, the next step is to get your expenses in check. And this is an area where many people get tripped up. Think of someone just like yourself who got a raise at work and immediately upgraded their car or living situation. 2 years later, you're earning more than ever, but still struggling to pay the bills. Sound familiar? This concept is called lifestyle inflation. When your income increases, it's tempting for your expenses to rise at the same or greater rates. But there's a smarter way. Follow this simple rule. With every pay increase, invest and save 50% of it. Now, I remember watching videos about this years and years ago, and I always thought, wow, that sounds super easy. It sounds like a real pain in the ass. But the reality is, with the right systems in place, it becomes automatic. Let me explain. Since we've already automated your saving and investments, this becomes effortless. My clients deposit all of their income into a high yield savings account from the get-go. So if their income increases, automatically their savings increases without them having to lift a finger. They have to then choose to manually increase their lifestyle. This is very much by design because it's very easy for us to automatically spend all that money and wonder why we wake up in debt. Now, if your core expenses are taking up most of your income, here's what you can do right now. You can list out your major expenses and look for areas to cut back. You could consider practical changes like eliminating unnecessary expenses. The joke at my house is, how do we have 10 streaming services? We only are probably watching 3 of those, so let's cut out the fat and get that money up into savings immediately. Maybe it's about finding a more cost-effective vehicle. Maybe in a worst case, you need to get a side hustle to bring in some extra money. But the reality is this is not about extreme frugality. It's about making conscious choices to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle and get ahead with your money. And here's where automation makes life easier. Yet again, instead of trying to stay away from your money and just not touch it with, your willpower like most people do, you can automate all of your bills, automating all of your credit card payments. You see, all of my clients take the money that they were paying on credit cards, get it off credit cards, their credit score increases. They then take their credit cards and use them to pay their bills on autopilot, sticking them in a drawer so they're not tempted to spend. I could probably make a whole video on that concept in and of itself. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to make that video, and I will. But the reality is, we need to avoid temptation. We don't want to rely on our willpower when we have companies like credit card companies that spend millions and billions of dollars to get us into debt. Now that the essentials are covered, let's talk about the best part of all of this: enjoying your money guilt-free. What's the point of working hard if you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor? The 1% know this, which is why they carve out space for guilt-free spending. This is the fun part. After all the bills are paid, the money's saved and invested, the rest is yours to enjoy without guilt or shame. Yes, even if you're paying off debt. Spending money on things we enjoy is part of what makes life worth living. Maybe it's treating yourself to a weekly dinner date with your spouse, or taking the family to the movies, or finally buying the grill of your dreams. But this isn't just about indulgence, it's strategic. You must first create a separate spending account at a separate banking institution from where you pay your bills, from where you save your money. This dedicated account makes it much less likely that you are going to overspend. Having this dedicated fund money keeps you balanced. When you give yourself permission to enjoy the money, you stay motivated and committed to the financial plan for the long haul because it doesn't suck. By the way, you can automate this too. I help my clients set up weekly transfers to their spending accounts so that way every single week they have a new cash infusion coming in, making it that much easier to stay on target. If the account has money in it, spend it. If not, wait a couple days and another cash infusion will land. This really is the magic bullet to murder overspending. I often am surprised when I work with my clients at how effective it is. I haven't seen anybody that has really fallen off track with this method. All you have to do is make sure that there's enough money in these accounts, assuming you can afford to, have enough money in there in the first place. But from there on, it's a game changer. With automation, you're not constantly worried about every single purchase. It's like having a financial assistant keeping you on track, with one tiny difference. You're saving thousands of dollars simply by automating these decisions instead of relying on fancy investment firms to do the heavy lifting for you. For example, one of my clients says that this self-managed model saved her $10,000 a year in management fees that she was paying to an investment firm. By now, you've got a full system set up for saving, investing, spending, and enjoying your finances. Let's tie it all together. Ultimately, we as human beings aren't great at making impulse decisions. Marketing companies know this, credit card companies know this. And so we have to take our power back in a way. We have to stack the deck in our favor and create a system that allows us to win by default on autopilot without having to micromanage every little financial detail of our life every single time we get paid forever. Now, if you are a six-figure earner, but your financial life is not as simple as you would like it to be, you might want to explore my automated system. Every day, I'm helping families with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $70,000 plus in credit card debt, breaking free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle using the system that I just described in this video. I'm helping them get a month ahead on their savings and automating the big four financial financial goals that most of them have, which is to pay down debt, build emergency savings, create savings buckets, whether it's for Christmas or home and auto maintenance or a big vacation, and then investing. I'm only looking to work with people that are serious and ready for a change. If you've tried every budget, spreadsheet, and app like I have and are ready to solve this problem once and for all, simply book a call with me to see if we're fit to work together. The link is below in the description, and I hope to hear from you soon. Now, if you want to learn more about what it means to be financially healthy, check out my video on the signs that you're doing well financially, linked up above. It's a deep dive on how to measure your financial success beyond just the numbers in your bank account. Thanks for watching.